if you have those two symptoms, or if you have one or other of those two symptoms of potential coronavirus, a high temperature and a new and continuous cough, then you should stay at home.
Alright, so this vlog's going to be a little bit different from all of my other vlogs, but we are in the middle of a global pandemic and a lot of you will have your own views on this, and I know that a lot of you will probably be sick of hearing about this. However, just please stay tuned in this video because I just want to get across a few facts basically from what I'm getting from it all, but not only that, I want to sort of voice my opinion as to sort of what's going on if you care about that, I guess. But obviously what we're talking about is the coronavirus. We obviously know so far that the coronavirus started in city of Wuhan in China. It is then rapidly spread to pretty much the rest of the world. The World Health Organization have, as of yesterday, declared the coronavirus a global pandemic.
We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
It's of the opinion of many that this disease is very dangerous, potentially life-threatening to many, but some yet still believe that it's not that bad. However, what I'm going to talk about in a moment is going to be significant as to whether this could be more dangerous than we actually think it could be. So, in order to help stop the spread of this disease, we are told to wash our hands regularly and then avoid touching our face. There is now 2 European countries that are in full lockdown. That is Italy and Denmark. I believe that in a month's time there's going to be many more. So what are the UK doing about it? The UK government has decided to move the coronavirus outbreak status from the contained stage to the delay phase. Boris Johnson just came out and said that he's not going to be closing schools. He will be, but not yet, which is sort of surreal really. Not surreal the fact that schools will be closing, just the fact that he's going to close them, but just not yet. To me, well, that just doesn't make sense. Like, why not just do it now? The biggest, most annoying thing that I've heard from people is people around my age saying that it's not that big a deal because, well, it doesn't affect us or whatever. To me, that's just ignorant, and it's very, very selfish, in my opinion. Yes, you might not die from it, but you could give it to someone that will die from it. A relative or an older member of your family that will potentially die from it. Yeah, just like for me anyway, I just feel like the government and this country right now, we're just not doing anywhere near enough. We've seen what happens in Italy, you know, we've got the facts there, you know, we know what's going to happen. We've got that evidence of actually what's going to happen if we don't take the measures that we should be taking. And, you know, we've seen from other countries that are starting to ban sporting events and starting to ban large social gatherings, starting to close schools, like Ireland, which is literally just across the water. For example, Donald Trump in America has stopped direct flights in from mainland Europe today, whereas the UK, Boris Johnson just said, I advise any elderly people not to go on cruises. Like, what? Boris Johnson and the UK government held what was called a Cobra meeting. I don't know why they're naming all of these things after beer. I don't know. But Boris Johnson since came out and said that We have now moved to the delay phase. Effectively, what they're trying to do and the message that they're trying to get across is they're trying to delay the actual peak. So they're trying to delay the inevitable from happening. They've pretty much said that it's going to happen. In other words, said that they can't stop it happening, but they're trying to delay that to give them more time.
I must level with you, level with the British public. More families, many more families, are going to lose loved ones before their time.
And so on and so forth. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Let's talk about that peak again. So basically what they mean is that this line here is going to represent the number of cases that we have here in the UK. The peak is going to happen at some point. Before that peak then drops off, the delay phase means that all they're trying to do is they're trying to make this line, the peak line, go up a lot more steadier, so it reaches a peak a lot later on and a lot smoother before it then comes down. Basically, they're going to have more time and more of a structure in place in order to deal with the cases over here than they would if it was over here. My first point on this subject is if they were to act now like Denmark have done now. Denmark are a really good example. I believe that Denmark's peak will never get to anything quite like ours, either up here or up here, whether delayed or not. Because they've now put everything into lockdown, I believe that Denmark's peak will stay much lower, and therefore the risk of them actually having the number of fatalities or even the number of overall cases of the coronavirus is going to be much lower. And this graph and this theory is all well and good. However, like the point I just stated, if we were to do something maybe a little bit more drastic and a little bit more aggressive like we've seen in other countries, we could potentially keep that peak much lower. We don't actually have to risk the lives of thousands of people just because they want it to peak later, because they don't want to put the NHS under that much pressure. The thing that I really got from this whole announcement was that they said they wanted to make the peak later. They said that they wanted to move it to the delay phase, but in effect they've changed nothing about the way we actually behave about the virus. They've changed nothing. If they said we're moving to the delay phase, we're going to close schools, we're going to close colleges, we're going to close whatever, that would make sense, because that to me, then we're going to delay it. But all they've said is that if you're feeling any symptoms, stay at home. Now, me personally, I've known and I know of people that have got symptoms and are phoning their work, telling their bosses that they've got symptoms, and their bosses are saying, we need you in work. People are not taking it seriously enough because the government are not taking it seriously enough. It's that simple. They've got to lead by example right now. When the schools close, what are the parents going to do? Well, I'm not a parent, so I don't really understand the whole thing, but surely in 3 weeks' time, it's going to be the Easter break here, and the kids are going to be off school anyway. So what do you do in that time? I'm nearly 100% certain, like I went to school at one point and my parents weren't off for the whole summer holidays. So there's ways around this. I've heard things from Italy saying that they haven't got the resources to actually cover the amount of cases that are coming in. For example, people in their 20s, people in their teens, people in their 30s, people in their 40s, which by the way will happen. Then it becomes potentially fatal to the normal human being that we are all associating with, as in the healthy person, as in the younger person, the fit, the stronger person. I'm not like any sort of politician or anything. I just have very strong views on certain topics, and I like to voice them from time to time, hence why I've got a YouTube channel. And if it's your first time here watching this video, then I want you to know that not all my videos are like this. For you guys that are subscribed and watching me, you know, on a daily basis, then you will know that this is something a little bit different. And I want to tell you guys that I was sort of reluctant to make a video on the coronavirus. I feel like my job as a creator on YouTube is to actually give you guys positive content that makes you feel happy. So for example, you've been at work, you've had a terrible day at work, you've came home to some other life problems that may have been thrown your way today, and then you turn on the telly and all you've got is just negative news surrounding the world right now about the coronavirus. And I feel like my job as a creator is I want to give you a potential break away from that. So whereby you tune into my vlog for 5, 10, 12 minutes, whatever it is, and you can escape from that world just for a while and just hopefully go to bed with some positive sort of energy ready to smash tomorrow. The main thing I want to get out there to anyone watching behind this lens right now is that please just be a bit more savvy about it. Just be like, this is serious, and if you don't think it'll affect you, then that's okay. If it doesn't affect you, then that's okay. But don't forget, if you contract it, you can potentially give it to someone that it will affect, and the chances are that person's a loved one and a family member of someone else. I feel like day-to-day living here in the UK is going to become very different in the next 2 weeks. I suppose a lot of you are thinking right now, what would I do? I would honestly put the country in lockdown. I wouldn't let anyone in or out. Everyone now will be just about to bash into the comments, just about to start smashing your keyboard saying, well, what will that do to the economy? Well, do you know what? The economy is going to be in a hell of a worse state if we let this problem persist for the next 3-4 months. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. Anyone that drops into this comment section disagreeing with me, I'm not going to have an argument with you, because you are entitled to your opinion. Yes, the economy will take a hit for a while, but it's going to. At the end of the day, we can't stop that from happening now. It's going to happen one way or another, and like I said before, it's probably going to be a lot worse if we don't do it now. That's all I got to say. I know this was a completely different video from my style, but if you've made it this far in the video, I just want to reiterate, just please be safe. Like, that's it. That's all I got to say. Just please be safe, be vigilant. If you've had it, or if you feel like you've got it, if you feel like you've got any symptoms, just don't take any chances. Don't go out. Don't feel like you have to go out, because all you're going to do, like I said, is potentially put someone else's life in danger. We've got to take action. We've got to do it now. But we are responsible for what happens next. I'll be back tomorrow with hopefully a bit more of a positive outlook on life. That's all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying this long in the video. Take care. Be safe. Much love.